Go.
Hi, this is Len, and I'm from CoffeeRoastersClub.com. We're here today to demonstrate our brand new product called the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra. The javaCOOL-CRC Ultra is a 10-pound coffee bean cooler and Dechaffer. We're going to demonstrate this brand new product by roasting 10 pounds of coffee beans from beginning to end. After the coffee beans are completely roasted, we're going to put the coffee beans through the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra to show you how quickly and efficiently this product cools down and dechaffs coffee beans. I'd also like to introduce someone who you can't see right now because she's behind the camera. It's my wife, Cara. Now let's start by going over and taking a peek as to what's going to be roasted and how we're going to roast it. Right here we have 10 pounds of unroasted coffee beans. Right here is a scale. They're going to weigh out the beans and show you that it is 10 pounds. Here's a brand new prototype 10-pound coffee roaster drum that I've just developed. Let's show you the barbecue now. That drum I just showed you is going to go inside this conventional Kenmore barbecue. It can be a charbroil barbecue, whatever have you. It's a conventional 3-burner barbecue. Let me open it up and show you the inside, which currently has the flames on. It's 3 burners. I always observe the necessary safety precautions by having a fire extinguisher handy. It's always very important to observe all safety precautions. Right here we have one of my very first high-speed commercial coffee roaster motors for the rotisserie, 60 RPM. Again, I said it's a prototype. The newer ones I put out for my customers are much prettier. Right here we have the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra. Let me show you the components. Right here we have the cooling chamber. Right here we have the Dechaffer. And right here is our very special vacuum assembly. Now, this cooling chamber is connected to the Dechaffer with this special vacuum hose. This isn't any ordinary old vacuum hose. This is a very high temperature capable hose, and it's very expensive. It can withstand over 600 degrees Fahrenheit for extended periods of time. Now, we have the Dechaffer. The Dechaffer is attached to a bucket where all the chaff goes in. Periodically, when in use, you may want to just pop the lid off this bucket. Dump. It's very light assembly. Very, very light. After you pop the bucket off, you just lift this up, drop it down, dump out your chaff, and then put it back together the same way. Now, we have the vacuum assembly. The vacuum assembly is attached with an electrical cord to an outlet, 110 volts AC, conventional US outlet, grounded, 3-pronged ground. That's very important. And what we're going to do right now is part of the process of working with the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra. Go over to this special vacuum assembly. We pop open this ring. You lift out off the top as such. And you just put down the top on a nice solid surface. Inside this bucket is 2.5 gallons of just regular old tap water. Go over to the bucket. And we fill that bucket up with the water. No more than 2.5 gallons. No less than 2.5 gallons. Now periodically, if you use this, you may want to change the water every now and then. I would say probably change the water every 10 roasts. Additionally, observe all safety precautions regarding working with electricity and water. This unit is designed to be operating in an upright position. When filling up this, always have the unit unplugged. These are just basic electrical safety precautions. After filling it up with the water, get the assembly and you put the top back on. You want to make sure that the top is on correctly and not ajar. You get the retainer ring, push it back like this, put it over the lip so that the entire lip and drum are now within the ring. Then you just get that handle and very slowly close that. And there's a little safety latch that pops down too. Now over here, you'll see an on-off switch. When we're ready to dump those beans inside that cooling chamber, we're going to pop that switch on and let the beans cool down. Now right now, it is totally safe to plug in the javaCOOL-CRC, even though we're not going to be operating it yet. Now, when the javaCOOL-CRC is not in operation, you should always have it unplugged. You should always store the javaCOOL-CRC vacuum assembly in an upright position. Never allow it to tip. You should not have children play with the javaCOOL-CRC. That's just necessary safety stuff that any parents, should know about. It's industrial equipment. Now, if you happen to tip over the javaCOOL-CRC bucket when it has water in it and it is plugged in, please observe all necessary electrical safety hazard precautions. If you're going to unplug that switch, make sure you're not standing in water, make sure it's not covered with water, make sure you're wearing proper gloves, etc. Now these things don't happen with proper use, but you never know when something may happen, so it's always necessary to provide these safety precautions. Okay, let's go back over to the chamber that cools these beans. I want to let you know that this is a process that we are in the process of patenting. The javaCOOL-CRC is a one-of-a-kind unit. There's nothing ever been designed like it. This is our technology, and we are very proud of it. Now, let's go down to this bucket. 100% stainless steel. The beans inside this chamber are contacting only 100% stainless steel, nothing else. The leg assembly is made out of 100% aluminum. The rubber wheels are very nice. You can move it around to wherever you want. Now on the sides, you see little springs. Let's detach these springs for a second. Detach the springs. This unit now is ready to receive beans. Just pop it open. When the time comes, we're going to dump the beans inside. We're going to put this lid down. Make sure the handles meet. Then we're going to pull these spring latches down, which I just put in place to make sure people align things properly. The vacuum creator is going to create a massive suction in this unit. And then I'm going to go over and turn on the switch. Now, let's get back to this whole thing that we're going to be doing right now. As I may have mentioned, we're going to be doing a roast from beginning to end. We're not going to stop. You'll see everything that happens. I'm doing this to show you the whole progression of the roasting process from the very beginning of weighing out the beans, 10 pounds, putting them into the drum, to putting them into the barbecue roaster, to roasting them, to dumping them into the chamber, and after dumping them into the chamber, we're going to use a couple special tools here that we have at our disposal. One is an infrared thermometer. I'm going to immediately take the temperature of the beans for you. I'm going to provide you the reading. You can't see anything now because I don't have this turned on, but we're going to be doing a close-up of the reading so you know how hot those beans are. I'm going to turn on the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra, and I'm going to time it for 4 minutes. 4 minutes here. You'll see it from start to finish. Turn it off, pop open that cooling chamber. I'm going to take the temperature again for you and show you. And I'm also going to show you, and it'll be very evident, that there'll be no chaff in it. I'll just get the beans and kind of dump them around. Maybe I'll dump them back into that bowl so you see there's no chaff. And that's basically going to be our process. Now, during this whole process, it's going to take, well, the roasting is going to take a while. The cooling is going to take some time. So we have a little tripod set up here. I'm going to be here at all times. You should never leave a roast unattended. Sometimes people do that, and they always find that that's a mistake. So never, ever leave a roast unattended. I just want to say that. Let me put this equipment back on my little holder here. And there we go with that. Now, I have a little table that I brought with me. When I dump these beans, I'm going to be just resting that top chamber on this table, just so that it's not resting right on the deck. I'd rather do it that way because, you know, there's a little bit of leaves on the deck and stuff, and I just don't want them to get caught up in anything. Okay, let's get over to the whole situation here with the amount of beans. Now, stainless steel, conventional weighing scale. I'm going to turn it on right now. You can see it teared out at 0 pounds. I'm going to put 10 pounds of coffee bean. These are unroasted. Actually, there's a little bit over 10 pounds of beans. 10.2 pounds of beans, just to show you. These are just your regular old bean. Nothing special about them. I would say it's probably one of the average bean mixes. South American beans are in here. It's just a whole mixture. I enjoy this mixture myself. It's called the Poor Man's Blend, believe it or not. And I get these from coffeebeandirect.com. I don't think they'd mind me mentioning that. I buy these quite often. I enjoy the espresso that they make, and also makes a nice AeroPress, and it also makes a great bricka. If I had time, I'd show you all my coffee brewing toys, but we just don't have that time right now. Maybe in the future. So, okay, there's 10 pounds of beans. Now, I already explained this whole drum to you. I'm going to open this drum. Again, this drum is 24 inches in length, 16 gauge end cap plates, 20 gauge stainless steel cage. Interior finwork is a combination of stainless steel and aluminum. Lovejoy connector on the end to couple into the high-speed rotisserie motor system. Hinge cap assembly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the spring off, open up that lid, and now I'm going to fill it with 10 pounds of beans using a very tiny scoop. I could bore you with a little simple small talk right now, but I'm too busy trying to fill this 10-pound roaster drum with a teeny tiny scoop of beans each time. It takes amazing coordination and concentration to do such. years. This bean mix has a variety of different size beans in it. We're getting there. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Try to get as much of this out as possible. Put it in a small diameter pan. So I can just go ahead and dump the remaining right in there. There we go. Close the lid. Get this spring. Let me set this down for a second so I get a better grip on it. Okay. Get this spring. Pull it back a good amount. Put it inside one of the perforations as the latch hole. What I always like to do when I'm done here, I like to take it back and forth a little bit to even out those beans, even though this drum assembly, even though this motor assembly will do a good job at evening that out anyways. Alright, let me put that there on there. Now if I can find that little Lovejoy connector. There it is. That's a little, not a Lovejoy connector, they call this the spider. This is the spider that does all the work of the coupler to make sure that it stays together and cuts down on vibration. What I'm going to do is just go over here. I'm going to pop that in that side. Just like that. Okay. I can turn this down a little bit now. This is a little high. Turn it down just a bit each. Right now the temperature is reading about 625 degrees. Now I open the hood, a lot of this heat's going to go out. This one right down here.
I'm trying. I don't see it. Where? Oh, there you go.
There, got it? I want to try to get the flame levels a little bit lower. Try to keep the flame levels as even as possible by visually inspecting them. Don't go by the gauges. Gauges can be off. That's pretty good. Alright, now get this big coffee roaster drum, and I have to do something I should have begin with. That is put on some necessary safety gloves. Always wear heat-proof safety gloves. These are very good gloves I got from McMaster.com. They're called High Flex, and they have heat-proof material. Go over here. First, get this inside the Lovejoy connector. There, as you can see, it's coupled. Go over here. On that side now. We turn this system on. There it is. Now we close it. Then we go back here to the tripod that we have set up. So this is going to be a long process. I'm going to put this on the tripod, so bear with us as we connect this. It'll get a little shaky right now, probably. Looks like we got it in there, I think. Let me just...
They want to cooperate with me. There we go. Just had my other barbecue there for a second. We're getting there. There. And we're just going to have it sit there. Lock this up so it doesn't move anymore. You can see the whole assembly working.
I'm going to be just puttering around over here. So you'll probably see me walk back and forth. This is going to be a little bit of a process, as I mentioned. So hang in there with us. We'll watch the whole roasting from beginning to end. Never done before in the annals of coffee roasting history. Where's that annals? Yeah. For the heck of it, I'm going to time this roast. Been in there for about a minute so far. That's a brand new prototype drum I got in there. Based upon another prototype that I designed that holds 5 pounds, that I haven't put that out in the market yet. It has a special interior fin work that does an awesome job at providing an incredible mixing action inside that drum. So this is actually a first test for the drum. Kind of adjusting the heat a little bit in the barbecue. Get it back up to the temperature I want. I like to roast at around 550 degrees. As I mentioned, we started at 625. When I opened the hood, of course, it dropped it down. I made some adjustments there with the flange, but I'm bringing it back up a little bit. Might be a good time to show you our dog, Mr. Angus. You care to get Mr. Angus?
Oh.
Mr. Angus is our border collie. Mr. Angus is I think he's going on 6 years old. We had him since he was a little puppy. He's 100% purebred border collie, and he really loves to play frisbee. And I'd show you all that right now, but we're concentrating on this coffee roasting process. In the future, you may want to revisit us. Maybe we'll put up a video of Angus catching frisbee. Here he is. Hey, Angus. I'm not going to move the camera because I want to concentrate on you seeing the whole process right here. Angus, watch out. That's Mr. Angus. Can you have Angus sit down?
Okay.
Angus, sit down. Over here. He's a very obedient dog, as you can see. Angus, sit. Angus.
Sit.
Sit down. Hey.
Yeah.
Can you sit?
Good.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Lay down. You lay. Blake. You want to rub your belly? Wait on. I think somebody has to go outside.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to let him. Right. You put him in his kennel there just to keep him, you know,
out of the way when we're trying to work with this equipment. So I think that he has to, as we say, do his duty.
Did a quick peek inside, very quick, to see how the flames are. Generally, I only do that about once per roast. You don't want to keep on opening and closing the hood when you're roasting. It lets too much heat out. Interesting thing to explain about the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra. This project's been in development for probably about the past 5 years. I feel there's a need for new technology regarding cooling the coffee beans after they're roasted. I know a lot of people have been using their own homemade coffee bean coolers, generally for roasting 1 pound or so. I do sell other units called the javaCOOL-CRC 1 pound unit and 5 pound unit, using a totally separate, more conventional technology. This is something entirely new. It's interesting to note that all seals are sealed, all areas to be sealed. Use high temperature silicone sealant, and everything that the beans come into contact with the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra is 100% stainless steel. They do not come into contact with any silicone. They do not come into contact with any other material except 100% 304 grade stainless steel. We're at 6 minutes right now and 17 seconds. The temperature in the barbecue is now back up to 500 degrees. Well, I think we've seen enough of Angus. I don't want him kind of running around with the barbecue anymore, so we'll let him back inside. In the backyard, which you can't see right now, I have a meat smoker. I used they're made out of a 55-gallon drum, has an attached, very small wood stove fireplace insert. Now we found on the side of the road in a neighboring town when we were driving around one day. Somebody was just throwing it away. I attached the chimney to the drum, hooked up the wood stove to it, used it to smoke pork, chicken, and turkey, hot dogs. Even made barbecue sauce with tomatoes that we grew in our garden. And I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. It's excellent. Food that comes from it is excellent. Also in the backyard, I have a solar water collector. It's called a solar batch collector. I've talked about this on some boards that I belong to, some coffee boards. And during the summertime, since we live in New England, we don't use it during the winter because we wouldn't know anything. But during the summertime, basically from March until the end of October, it heats water in a batch capacity that we can use for all our hot water needs. Our furnace actually does not run at all unless there's an extended cloudy period of time. Our furnace doesn't run at all from the time of March until the end of October. It's actually starting to turn on now. We have it turned on now though because we did have a couple nights where it did get a little cold. Today's a beautiful day. I'd say it's probably about this is about 64 out in Connecticut, and right now it's October 19th, 2009. We're also going to be developing a solar hot air collector. This will be for the winter time, and also a wood gasification device, which will provide wood gas, which is called syngas, for my director said he couldn't see my head. Working on a syngas device, produces wood gas so you can run generators off it to produce electricity. Just some of the ideas that we have shooting around here. Like making things, try to keep costs down, try not to give our money to the big oil companies and such. Alright, we're going on 9 minutes now. Temperature's a little bit over 500 degrees. Where the rotisserie rod on one side connects to a rest on a little rotisserie rod holder squeaking a little bit, so I'm going to just give it a little oil. Food grade oil, actually olive oil. Stop the squeaking. I have my heat-proof gloves. I'm also going to bring up some mitts too in case I need them. I have safety glasses that I generally use when I work in the shop. When anything's, working with metal, it's always very important. I feel I don't need them today though. I never wear them when it comes to roasting. Personally, I don't think it's a necessity. Some people may want to do it maybe to keep the smoke out of their eyes. It doesn't necessarily bother me. bring that to the forefront a little bit to get prepared for when the time comes we're going to be taking those beans out. We're at 13 minutes right now. We use this barbecue for other things, of course. We're going to be doing like a roast or barbecue some ribs. They generally can be a little fatty. So if we're going to be doing a coffee roast after that, we want to turn up that barbecue to burn off any of the fats. Keep that barbecue on so all the fats are burned out. We always make sure we do that. Just waiting for first crack to happen. First crack are the sounds that coffee beans make. The initial stage of the roast, generally explained as water inside the bean bursting through. Sounds like popcorn. At that point, if you were to say you're at the start, the first crack, that's generally looked at also as a cinnamon roast when you first hear that pop. Now towards the end of the first crack, when the pops start dying out, that's generally looked at as Full City roast. Then there's a lag in time between first crack and what is called second crack. Second crack sounds like little toothpicks snapping. Some people say Rice Krispies. A bowl of milk. Once you hear second crack start, you're at what they call a first Full City plus. You let it get about 10 seconds into the second crack. You're almost getting into a Vienna. The longer you get into the second crack, of course, the darker the beans get. They have what they call a rolling second crack. It sounds like just a chugging of a train. To give a little bit of an analogy. You're getting into a real dark roast. You gotta be very careful when you get into the real dark roast. That's where most all fires happen, is the very dark roast. What I'm going to try to do is get about 5 seconds at the second crack, and I'm going to take them out and dump them. That's how I like my roast. About a Full City plus. About 525 degrees right now, not a little bit more. We're about 17 minutes into the roast of 10 pounds of coffee. I started hearing some evidence of first crack. Put my heat-proof gloves on right now. I'm also going to prepare the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra to receive the beans after they're roasted. We're definitely at first crack. Yep, we're at first crack. You can see quite a bit of smoke is now starting to come out. Alright, we're right at second crack right now. At this point I'm going to turn off the burners. If we can scan in now. Very hot. Whoop. I designed it to tip. Pop open that lid. Now let's dump those beans in. Looks like my barbecue is a little bit hot on one side, and I'm going to have to work on that. But there are the beans. I'm going to turn on this Fahrenheit detector. 381 degrees. Is the chamber on? Get the stopwatch. I'll stop the stopwatch now. Clear it. Hang on. There we go. See it? Well, I'll point over at the vacuum assembly. You can see a little steam coming out now. It's very hot. For 41 seconds. Right now. There's no more steam coming out of the, well, there's a little steam bit, but hardly anything like before. We're at 3 minutes so now. Can you see that?
No. Okay.
Can you see it? 4 minutes and 1 second. Let me feel the tube. You can hold it. Okay.
I'm gonna take the top off now. Oh, gotta turn this on. I need about 1 or 2 more minutes on that. It's at a temperature right now where I could stick my hands in it and not have any issues, but I want to get it a little bit cooler. Let's start that up again. We're going to go for 2 more minutes, and that'll be it. It'll be a total of 6 minutes for 10 pounds of coffee roaster beans from barbecue directly to the Dechaffer, ambient temperature. Alright, total is 6 minutes. Okay. A little better. 64 degrees, ambient temperature outside here. Just need 2 more minutes. $68 degrees. You know, these little thermometers are goofy, but right in the center of the mixture, you know, 70 degrees. Maybe one little bean is a little bit higher than the other. So look at that. And no chaff. Okay, that was our demonstration of the javaCOOL-CRC Ultra. I hope you enjoyed the show.